The scripture this morning, like I said, is kind of a central one. It's from it's from Genesis, and we're kind of following along the Gospel of Luke most of this year. But every once in a while, we kind of pop in the Hebrew scripture. So Abraham and Sarah are kind of considered the patron saints of hospitality in this passage. They're kind of remind us of this core of welcoming a stranger. And this passage, many of you have heard me talk about this, always reminds me of a trip I took 25 years ago to Turkey when I went with a professor and a couple of graduate students from University of Chicago, and we went to all these little byways no one would ever go to. And as I've said before, the people in Palestine, West Bank, Turkey, friendliest people I've ever met, just the most gracious people. And that kind of motif of hospitality is so central in the Middle East. When someone brings you into their home, they're responsible for you and they just take care of you. So even in Turkey, we would go to, you'd stop at a gas station, and they would have you get out of your car, and then they would like bring you like hot tea and wash your hands, and they wash your car, and just like, you're just being treated again like royalty at this gas station. So that idea of being welcomed and cared for by a stranger comes to mind when I hear this. So the Lord appeared to Abraham by the oaks of Mamre, as Abraham sat at the entrance of his tent in the heat of the day. Abraham looked up and saw 3 men standing near him. When he saw them, he ran from the tent entrance to meet them and bowed down to the ground. Abraham said, "My Lord, if I find favor with you, do not pass by your servant. Let a little water be brought, and wash your feet, and rest yourselves under the tree. Let me bring a little bread, that you may refresh yourselves, and after that you may pass on, since you have come to your servant." So they said, "Do as you have said." And Abraham hastened into the tent to Sarah and said, "Make ready quickly 3 measures of choice flour, knead it, and make cakes." Abraham ran to the herd and took a calf, tender and good, gave it to the servant, who hastened to prepare it. Then he took curds and milk and the calf that he had prepared, and set it before them. And he stood by them under the tree while they ate. And they said to him, "Where is your wife Sarah?" And Abraham said, "There in the tent." And then one said, "I will surely return to you in due season, and your wife Sarah," remember they're really, really old, "shall have a son."